The week of May finals and graduation at Texas Tech is usually one of the busiest for bars on Broadway, a needed boost to get businesses near campus through the sleepier summer months. This year's different. There are no long lines to get into these places, like there normally are as the weather warms up. Broadway bars, like others across Lubbock and the state, have been closed for 2 months as part of the coronavirus economic slowdown. Other industries have gotten the green light to reopen. Bars haven't.
For the first time in my professional career, I'm scared. There's just not even an answer for when we can open or a plan.
Michael Klinsman owns 3 establishments on Broadway, the bar's Local and Bar PM, and recently opened Atomic Pizza. He says the closures hit him hard, and when restaurants could reopen with limited capacity earlier this month, it was like a 1-2 punch.
We were doing curbside at Atomic because pizzas translate well to go. Once they opened up dine-in, we dropped 80% the first day on curbside. So Saturday was our last day to do curbside because it just wasn't viable. Now all 3 are just head in the water, occurring debt every single day.
Texas restaurants were able to reopen for dine-in services on May 1st at 25% capacity with social distancing in mind. Only 6 people are allowed per party and tables must be 6 feet apart. Excluded in restaurant reopenings are places where alcohol sales exceed 51% of revenue, according to state guidelines. Even if they sell food, these businesses are classified as bars, and they can't open yet.
Just because I sell 65% alcohol, I can't compete or provide for my family or get my 87 employees back to work.
Lubbock City Councilman Steve Massengale is the co-chair of the Lubbock Economic Recovery Task Force.
I think we're close. The worst part is behind us, and those businesses will get to open soon. I just don't know when at this point.
Massengale also happens to own an apparel business on Broadway, on the same block as Klinsman's Local and Atomic Pizza. He says he feels for his fellow small business owner, but reopening isn't a simple thing.
People group up, they stand around and they visit, or maybe they're watching an event, or maybe they're dancing, maybe they're all up around the bar. I just think it's everyone's concern that it'd be very difficult to socially distance in that type of environment.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott at a May 5th news conference addressed the reopening of bars. He had previously estimated a mid-May restart for the bar biz.
But we also need to recognize kind of the very nature of a bar, and that is it brings people close together in a closed space, in a setting that really is the type of setting that promotes the transmission of infectious diseases.
The governor said not all bars are the same.
Some bars would be massively large and could easily set up operations that would be able to effectively employ distancing strategies. What about small bars? How would you operate that way in ways that would ensure that you are preventing the transmission of COVID-19? We need to hear details about all different types of issues like that.
Klinsman's talked with every elected official who will listen to him in the local, state, and federal government. He says he and other bar owners could use the same safety measures restaurants have. He's stocked up on cleaning solution and hand sanitizer. Tables could be distanced 12 feet apart and cover the dance floor.
Just because it's hard doesn't mean we can't do it and prove that we can do it. I just want to make a living, and I just want to get back to work. And we're kind of a forgotten industry.
The longer his doors are closed, the more worried Klinsman says he gets. He's already missed out on the May revenue that sustains his business. The college football season, another busy time on Broadway, is up in the air.
We're just constantly getting behind the 8 ball every month that we're not open, and making next year even harder. I have a feeling that there's going to be a pretty large percentage of my industry that doesn't make it out of this. And that's heartbreaking because people put their blood, sweat, and tears into bars and restaurants. As of right now, we're just a sinking ship.
Abbott is expected to announce the next phase of resuming business next week.
A timeline would be everything.
Follow our COVID-19 coverage at kttz.org. We also want to hear your stories. Connect with us on Twitter and Instagram at TTU Public Media. For Texas Tech Public Media, I'm Sarah Self-Walbrick. Support for this program comes from Texas Mutual Insurance Company. In response to the COVID-19 crisis, Texas Mutual is distributing dividends to eligible policyholders 2 months early, along with other community relief actions. More at texasmutual.com/dividends.